I'd start with saying that on the 14th of October, 1066, William, Duke of Normandy, landed on the shores of England. Now, sorry, my alarm's going off. Do you mind if I stop that quickly? All right. Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
So he landed on the shores of England, and he, in the heat of the battle, he fell off his horse, and he got back on it, and he said, look at me. I live, and with God's help, I will conquer. And he defeated Harold Godwinson. So what we're seeing is the monarch is helped by God in this case, and chosen by God. And I feel like not swearing an oath of allegiance is playing with fire.
Really, you're a religious man. You have a spiritual belief?
Well, I'm British, so I sort of believe in Britain, believe in the monarchy. I mean, here's another example.
Do you think that God himself has put King Charles on the throne? Well,
there's strong evidence for it, I'd say. I mean, look, here's the Battle of Gisors. There was King Richard I was fighting against the French, and he said, God on my right after the battle. There's another example. I think you can sort of see traces of it throughout history.
Yeah. So Britain is God's own country?
Well, I mean...
England specifically?
I'm saying that the king's arguably, or queen is arguably chosen by God. I think, on another matter, I'd say they're probably... I mean, look, we've waited 69 years for this to happen. If they cancel it now, I'd be miffed. I've booked my train tickets.
Oh, are you coming along, are you?
Yeah, I'm going along. I'm staying in Slough, and I'm waking up at 3 a.m. to catch the train to see it. And, they say it's going to cost 250 million. I say spend more on it. They're clearly not spending enough. Because when my nan got to see the coronation, she got to stand on the roundabout opposite Buckingham Palace and watch watch the parade go past. But nowadays you can't. Today they're not letting you stand on the roundabout. If there's not enough money, broadcast it in black and white like last time, and let people stand on the roundabout and spend their money better that way.
How can you be so naive to think that this man is going to ponce around in a carriage or whatever he's going to be in when only 20 minutes from the palace is people starving on Wharf Road? He came there last year, he left him within about 15 minutes because he couldn't stand it, and he ran off. And do you know what I mean? To tell you how many food banks are in Southwark alone? I mean, do you think it warrants £57 million or probably more for us to pay that when we're starving and there's kids with no clothes? I'm telling you, it's an insult. I mean, it's a hobby for you, and I understand that when you're probably sitting at home with a gin and Dubonnet, that's fine. But people are starving 20 minutes from where he's meant to be. There were families that went to war for this area. They was in the underground in Kennington. They built back this area. It's all families, South East London families worked hard to build back this area, and he's left them to starve and wants to walk 20 minutes down the road with a big crown. Oh, and it weighs how much? Oh, what a pity. How sad is that? It is an insult to us.
You purport to speak for a huge number of people, but I would suspect a lot of the people that you think you're speaking on behalf of are actually devout monarchists.
Let me tell you one thing. This generation that's coming up, you need to come into the real world. Get on the internet. Everyone is
I don't need to get on the internet. I talk to people every day on this programme.
Go on Instagram. Look on the Shade Borough. Look at the Black Youth. You need to know.
I'll talk to real people on my show, thank you, Cheryl.
Let's tell you about real people. The real people are on the show. No, let me say one thing. I haven't finished yet. Okay. The real people, right? Let me say one thing. Go on the real internet. Go on the Shade Borough for the Black youth growing up in Southwark. Go and see what their opinion is. No one cares about them. We're the real people, you know.
Do you accept that you pay some money or some money from the public purse gets paid? Right. And absolutely. Can you see how some people think, hang on a minute, palaces and titles and the best of the best for people born into that family to an extent funded for by the taxpayer, but not for others. And there's no way, unless you marry into it, that your family, your children, your grandchildren could ever achieve that. I
am perfectly aware of that. I am a disabled person. I live on very, very meagre, minimal income, and I'm a single mother supporting a young child. And I managed to do it and get by. Yes, I've had to go through the whole heating and eating. So don't speak for me. I'll speak for myself. I don't have a problem with it because, yes, we do pay. Taxpayer does pay a small portion towards their upkeep, but what we get back in return from them through revenue is much greater than what we pay towards their upkeep. And the protesting, why should they be allowed to spoil such a marvellous, historic occasion? Why can't you be respectful? And I want to watch it on television, and I don't want to be hearing. I want to be hearing cheering and celebration and happiness for this man who actually has done a lot for charity.
It is extremely odd. The priorities are very wrong. I don't feel safe on my streets. I live, as I said, a minute away from where the incident happened. It's the fourth major incident outside my house this year, and we've not had any kind of communication from the police, any kind of updates as to how they're trying to keep us safe. The area which it happened months before, I suggested the area be well lit and there be lighting, because we have people who go there and do certain things, which under the cover of darkness.
I completely sympathise with what you're saying, and I can actually detect some fear in your voice as well. This is really it's freaked you out. But just in the context of the coronation, what you're describing is true on the other 364 days of the year as well. So I just putting it out there that the coronation is not the problem here. The problem here is
the coronation. No, I've at no point said that the coronation was the issue. I've said that the priorities of the government are wrong.
Yeah.
The priorities should be about policing the streets to make people feel safe on a day-to-day basis, not just bumbling or pushing 11,000 or whatever the number is, number of police officers for one day. Every day we need to feel safe, and everyone needs to feel safe.